Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, in this episode, we want to continue our conversation about mindset. And so today what I want to talk to you about are values. So values are a component of mindset. Last week we did belief systems, right? So today we're going to really give you like a short course on values. If we can spend hours and days talking about it, we're not going to do that, obviously. So let me explain why I want you to listen and watch this entire episode. Values are the emotional state. So think of it this way: values equal emotional states, so i.e. feelings. And our value system is the mechanism that we use to filter all decision making. Okay? All decision making. So what I want to do before we get into a conversation is kind of give you like a template, a blueprint, if you will, of values and value systems. Okay? So first off, there are two types of top line or global values. We like to call them moving towards values, and those are emotions that you want to experience, hopefully on a daily basis, right? So love, connection, success, freedom, achievement, just to name a few. On the second side, on the hierarchy, there are going to be those emotions that you do not want to feel in any given day. And those are going to be what we call our negative emotions, or our moving away values. So we got moving towards, MTVs, right? And then moving away, MAVs. Now, what's an example or some examples of MAVs? Failure, rejection, feeling stressed, uncomfortable, right? Conflict, any ones like that you just, you want to avoid. Now, so those are the two hierarchies that way. Why then do we need to filter these? Here's what happens. Whenever you set a goal, let's say you set an economic goal. Let's say you want to double your business. And the number doesn't matter in the conversation here. But we want to double our business. What happens is that basically our brain goes, okay, what does this mean? So your brain goes, okay, on one side, hey, we'll be more successful. We'll have more economic abundance, right? Abundance, that's an emotion, right? We'll feel like we're achieving. That's cool. We like that, right? So you get all excited. Oh yeah, let's go double our business, man. Let's make it happen. But then your brain goes, hey, wait a second. In order to do this, we're going to have to change how we do things. We're going to have to get up earlier. Man, that's uncomfortable. We're going to have to go ahead and ask more business. Man, we could fail at that. Hey, we're going to have to ask more referrals. Man, we could get rejected doing that. And your brain goes, maybe we don't want to go for it. Maybe we want to stay in our safe zone. So we have these two competing forces, if you will, that are at odds with each other. And this is for many of you, what is really holding you back from a mindset perspective. You want to achieve. So here's an example. If I've got a client and freedom is very high on their moving towards, yet they have a business model, listen to this, they have a business model that basically for them to continue to grow, they've got to put more time into the business. They've got to take on more clients, do more reviews, do more prep, more. And in their brain, they go, man, I have less freedom. The bank account's going to look real good, but man, I'm going to be working. Like I'm not have no time for me, no time for my golf game, whatever, right? And by the way, that's not a conscious conversation. It's a subconscious conversation. And basically, this side goes, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't want to do this right now. And because it's not in alignment to your value system, you can't move the goal forward. Or if you do, it's going to be spotty, hit and miss, inconsistent, things like that. And then you get frustrated. So what you want to do, anytime you set a goal, you want to make sure that you filter it through your value hierarchy. Now, how do we determine what our value hierarchy is? It's really just about Q&Aing yourself, question and answering for yourself. So if you and I were sitting down, and remember, there's two columns, right? Moving towards positive stuff, moving away negative stuff. Here's how we do it. I'd ask you this question. What is the one emotion that you absolutely want to feel every day? What is the one emotion you absolutely want to feel every day? And for some of you, it may be success. For some of you, it may be connection to your family, your spouse, a higher power, whatever it is, right? Whatever it's going to be. You want to be at peace, right? You want to be peaceful. Whatever the emotion is, okay, what's that emotion? You write it down. Then I'd have you say, okay, tell me why that is the one you want. And there's a story there, and we need to know the story. So we do that, right? And then I'll say, okay, next question. What's the one emotion you absolutely want to feel every day? You can't pick the one you just gave me. And you'll give me that one. And then I'll go to the third. Hey, what's the one emotion you want to feel every day? You can't give me the two you just gave me. And we just go on and on and on until we get a hierarchy. Okay? Now on the other side, same protocol. Hey, what's the one emotion you never, ever want to feel any given day? I never want to feel rejection. Okay, great. And then so on, and I'll walk you through. So now, in really just Q&Aing, you now have a value hierarchy. Here's what's important to me. Here's what I want to avoid. That is so powerful, because now when you set a goal, because here's what has to happen. The goal and how you're going to achieve the goal, so not just the goal, but how we're going to get there, has to align to give you this and avoid that as much as possible. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go back to the conversation we just said about, let's say you want to double your business. And in your mind, you're like, I got to go do all this work and stuff like that. So here's a better question. Hey, how do you do? So here's the question I would ask you. Tell me how you could double your business and maintain, if not increase, your freedom. How can you do that? And let's brainstorm it, right? And then all of a sudden now, because we changed the question on the goal, because of the value system, we now open up a different door with a different game plan, with a different set of possibilities. And for a lot of advisors, for a lot of you guys and gals, this is the big thing for you, is you've been setting goals that have conflicts for yourself. So for example, let's say family is very important. Now family, again, this is an emotion, right? Is a family an emotion? No, it's a set of human beings that have shared DNA in most cases. That's a family. What you're really after is love and connection. Love and connection is really important to you. And so if you're building a business, and let's say family first, but you're building a business that is going to take you from the family, it's not going to feel good. Now, and this is interesting. I've worked with, oh my God, hundreds and hundreds of advisors who are economically successful. You know, I've worked with people on the Barron's list. And man, you would think that they don't have a care in the world. Like they're just, man, you got that kind of bank account, you got that kind of jam. Man, life must be pretty good for you. And you know what? They look good on the outside. You get to talk, you get the truth. They're miserable in some cases. Now, why? Because they compromise their value to go after the brass ring. So in other words, they thought economics equals success. So they get the economics, and guess what? They don't feel successful because there's conflicts all over the place. However, they were so driven, they just blew it all. They bypassed all the filters. Say, you know what? I'm going to ignore that. I know it's not making me happy, but I got to go for this. There's this internal desire I need to go get. I need to go do. And you'll achieve a goal, economic goal, let's just call it that. And it almost feels like it's a hollow victory. And the reason why it feels like a hollow victory is because it doesn't give you what you truly desire. You're moving towards values, and it doesn't keep you away from the things you do not want. Does that make sense? Okay? This is why, like when I do goal setting, when I do business planning for my clients and for my members of the network, one of the check and balances, right? So for example, let's say you set a goal. I want to double my business. Let's just use that one for a second, okay? Here's how I'll filter it for you. Tell me why it's an absolute must. Okay? We get that. Let's say that makes sense. Okay. Next question. How does it align to your value system? Now, in order to answer that question, you must first what? Determine what that is. And I just gave you a clue how to do that, right? A little exercise. Because if it doesn't align and you can't do that consciously, like that has to be a conscious conversation. Up until now, since we've talked about it, it's been an unconscious conversation for you. So we need to kind of really nail this. Has to be there, okay? Really, really needs to be there. And then once you have that, you can then say, okay, it doesn't really align. Let's say there's an issue. Let's say hey, you know, to double my business means that I'm going to have to give up time with my family. And that's like a non-starter for me. It's okay. So let's change the question. Instead of saying, let's double our business, here's the new goal. How do we double our business and maintain time with the family, or even increase time with the family? Ask a better question, get a better answer, get a better result, get a different possibility. Okay? That's what we need to do. Now next, again, I'm giving you like a 90-minute masterclass here and hopefully in 15 minutes. So we talk about hierarchies, right? Moving towards moving away. Things you want, things you don't want, right? There's also another filter or sort called means and ends values. Means and ends values. So very simple, here's what that means. It's a means to an end. So what do I mean by that? Means tend to be things. Things or experiences. Ends or emotions. Moving towards, moving away, right? So like for example, let's pick one that's probably pretty easy. Automobiles, great example, okay? Let's just say in your value system that being intelligent and smart, right, and a good, shepherd of your capital, your money. It's time to buy a new car, okay? I want to be smart, economical, I want to be good, I want to be a good shepherd of my capital. Are you going to the Mercedes-Benz dealer? Probably not. Are you going to go to the BMW dealer? Most likely no. You're definitely not going to go to the Ferrari dealer, that's for sure, right? Why? Because in your mind, a car is a means. It makes you feel a certain way. So you buy a car, it makes you feel a certain way, right? Car, feelings. Thing, feelings. Let's flip the script. Let's say that, you know, being successful, right, is very important to you. Status is very important to you, right? Being unique is very important. You don't want to be one of them. You don't want to be one of the manys. You don't want to be one of the manys, right? And so your chances are you're going to go shop at the Mercedes dealer, at the BMW dealer, maybe the Ferrari Porsche dealer, I don't know. But you're going to pick a vehicle that's going to make you feel the way that you want to feel. And by the way, listen to me. All marketing is geared to trigger emotional states. Let me repeat that. All marketing is geared to trigger emotional states. Look at any advertisement on the web, print, TV, and ask yourself, what's the emotion it triggers, right? And look, and advertisers and marketers know their markets, right? So for example, if I pick up, I'm trying to think of a magazine. If I pick up like Fortune magazine, there's going to be certain images in there, and there's going to be certain products and services that are going to be advertised there, right? The Rob Report, great example, right? The Rob Report, you're not going to see ads for Hondas in there. You're not going to see ads in there for Chevrolets unless it's a Corvette, right? You're just not going to see that because they know who their audience is, and they know what their value system is in that audience. So what do you think, for an avid reader of the Rob Report, what do you think their value system is? Somewhere, right? Success, status, uniqueness, right? Significance, right? And they're not negatives, by the way. That appeals to it, right? Now, if I pick up a Consumer Reports or a Money magazine, right? It's going to have a different ad set, different reader, different value system. What you have to understand as a business owner is not only do you need to understand your hierarchy, your team, the individuals around you, but also you need to understand your prospects and your clients, right? Because, mid-America, upper affluent, right, ultra high net worth, they all have some differentials in their value system. All right, they do. And so you want to make sure that you're building your business model around those values. So if you know you deal with the Rob Report set, but yet your office looks like the Chevrolet set, it could be a problem. This is super important, okay? So remember, means to an end. By the way, let's all on the same page. Nobody needs a Mercedes, a BMW, an Audi, a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, go on and go on, go on. What you need is transportation to get from X to Y. I mean, you could literally go down to the Toyota dealer and buy a Scion for $19,000 cash, right? It will get you to where you need to go. If I got to go 5 miles a day in my commute, the Scion will get you there just easy as Mercedes. But it's two different experiences, and it's going to feel two different ways. Remember that. Imagine a society, real quick. Imagine a society that was built on only needs, not wants. Imagine a society that the value system was all about just survival. I just want to survive. My goal, what's most important in your life? Survival. If we had a survival-based economy, none of you would be doing what you're doing today. We just want to be. Thank God we operate primarily in a wants-based economy. It's important, okay? So let me just wrap up this value conversation. So again, we have moving towards moving away. You know the questions you need to ask yourself. Remember, values are nothing more than feelings and emotions, right? And we filter all decision-making through that. So goals, what to do, what action to take, what action not to take, all gets filtered through. How? Subconsciously. What do we want to do? We want to make it conscious. We want to be aware of how we're setting goals and how it affects our value system. In addition, there's means to an end. There's end values, right? Which are emotions, and the means, which are things and experiences, right? Why does somebody fly first class? They want to feel a certain way. Why does somebody buy a Mercedes? Because they want to feel a certain way. Why does somebody dress a certain way? They want to feel a certain way, okay? Neighborhood they live in, they want to feel a certain way. What is, right? There's no right or wrong here, but understand it. And lastly, invitation. This month, November of 2021, I am hosting a 3-day virtual event, business planning event. Day 1 is all about mindset. Day 2 is all about goals and vision. Day 3 is about marketing, branding, biz dev. There's a link below. We have our own website. There's a way to register. You get all the materials. You own it forever. So once you get it, you get the workbook, the templates, everything. You own it forever. It's the latest version. So for those of you who have been around me for a couple of years, this is an all-new process. It's my 20th year of doing it. So I'd love to see you there. If you have any questions, reach out. And again, thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.